We're just gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start just introducing everybody, so that way you can meet our speakers, and then from there we'll get into the slides. Feel free to send any questions or chats into the messaging. Just make sure when you do that, you have it so that way it sends to everybody in the panel. So if you make sure that when you have the to message, it just says send to all versus just send to hosts and panelists. Eva says the chat is disabled. Okay, the chat is about to be enabled now, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks for joining. We have some really smart people on. I'm just gonna go ahead and make some quick introductions. We have Brandon Pompey. Brandon worked with displaced people for close to a decade in person and remotely as a volunteer mentor and board advisor. He quit his job as a senior software engineer at a Fortune 50 company and started Apricot to help get Palestinian jobs in tech adjacent fields. Really excited to speak with you today, Brandon. We have Pierre. He is a devoted, and Pierre, can you please pronounce your name for me again? Pierre Aleani?
Yeah, that is right, exactly.
Awesome. He is the president of the Palestinian Business Network. As a Swedish Palestinian, Pierre has devoted the past 9 years building a fundamental and necessary international network of Palestinians with the mission to strengthen the Palestinian identity in societies we currently live in by success stories. With a background from multinational corporations and a vast experience from different markets, Pierre is not only facilitating a network, but also conducting different initiatives built on sustainable mindsets such as Consultura and the Gaza team. Super interesting background, Pierre. Really excited to talk to you today. We have Abeer AbuGhaith. Abeer AbuGhaith is not only a social tech entrepreneur, but also an influential speaker and activist. As the founder and CEO of MENA Alliances and former co-founder of Say Linked, she has dedicated her life to driving positive change. Raised in a refugee camp and shaped by conflict, Abeer leverages her entrepreneurial and technical expertise to make a global impact. Through MENA Alliances, Abeer is revolutionizing the job market by bridging gaps and connecting talented professionals across the Middle East and North Africa with world-class job opportunities using remote solutions that overcome physical, political, and cultural barriers. Abeer, super excited to talk to you today. Your background is so inspirational to see what you've made out of it. So this is going to be great. Dana Shaheen. Dana Shaheen is the founder and CEO of YOUMNA. YOUMNA, am I pronouncing that right, Dana? Awesome. MENA's first delegation service for founders and executives, launched in 2024. YOUMNA connects high-performing leaders with elite, fully vetted and trained executive assistants who act as their right hand. Beyond redefining executive support, Dana is building an industry from the ground up, creating meaningful job opportunities for women in Palestine, Lebanon, and Jordan. Before founding YOUMNA, Dana led business development for fintech and digital banking at Visa, forging strategic partnerships and spearheading high-impact product launches with leading fintechs, including Tabby, YO Bank, and Checkout. Her career began in investment banking, where she executed $9 billion plus in M&A transactions before transitioning into market entry and expansion strategy. Really impressive background, Dana. And we have Christian Viziek, born in Bolivia to a Slovenian father and a proud Palestinian mother. Christian has always carried with him a deep sense of resilience and responsibility. Christian is the co-founder and CEO of Talent Acceleration Platform. Witnessing the untapped talent and limited opportunities in Palestine was his turning point. It lit a fire in him to create meaningful change. This belief that talent exists everywhere but opportunity does not led him to co-found TAP, a mission-driven organization focused on youth employment and job creation across the MENA region. Today, living in the Netherlands and supported by a global network, he remains committed to one dream, giving everyone the job they deserve. Until that day comes, he will keep pushing. Really inspirational story, Christian. And yeah, and then that's everybody. And yeah, the only person left on there is me, and I already shared my background. So, okay, cool. I'm looking now, and it seems like the chat is working. Wahid Khalid wrote, hey, hello, everyone. Hope everyone is well. Excited to be here and looking forward to this webinar. Thanks, Wahid. So am I. This is going to be awesome. So, yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and get going now. So let's just go through the slides. Alrighty. Tech for Palestine and Entrepreneurs for Palestine webinar series. This is our first official webinar with me hosting, so I hope you guys like it. Let me know if I'm doing a good job. Alrighty, and we've already went over everybody and introduced these amazing speakers. So Brandon Pompey of Apricot. Go ahead, Brandon, and yeah, so we'll just go ahead and get started here.
Yeah, I mean, the slides are not as important as the message, I guess. But
okay, awesome.
Yeah,
just let me know whenever you want me to move.
Yeah, you can flip to the next slide. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
But I would say, like, I've worked with or had a phone call at least with all of the people on this call, and I would say, like, they're all doing fantastic work, and I want to leave as much time as possible for them to speak. I think my message is basically, like, I want to build Palestinian startups. Like, I want to support them. We work as an incubator. We also employ Palestinians and put them into these businesses that we're incubating. We also provide jobs for companies in the United States. It's all of our leadership is Fortune 50, so people from Google, Salesforce, leaders in these companies who have either left or are working in tandem, and we produce great products. I think that Palestine has a lot of ideas. I think that it's hard to sell some of those products to Western markets because they're missing that last piece, that veneer that goes over it, which is hard if you're coming from any different culture. And so we try to provide that that sheen. We have a video game that we're producing, and all of these companies are completely Palestinian. So they're owned by Palestinians. We support them without any cost, and then we inject Palestinian talent into them. So and Apricot itself, like, it will go back to Gaza. Like, when I am done here and need it anymore, like, I will get this Apricot will run by someone from Gaza, and I will consult. So that's where I'm coming from. It's an NGO, but we run it like a very professional business. We're pretty demanding in that area. And lastly, the last thing that I'll say, and then again, I just want to leave time for everyone else to speak, is that we have engineers in Gaza that work there, and they're extremely talented, they're extremely dedicated. And when Mohammed, one of the engineers who went north to get his things, when he got there, like, they had drawn an American flag and an Israeli flag on the wall. And I just want to say that, like, if you're an American or if you're in America, like, they're signing this genocide in your name, and you should do something about it. You should, at the very least, give people jobs. So I know we like to stay lighthearted, or we don't like to always talk about the dark side of this, but that's the truth. And there's just opportunity here. Like, people aren't asking for handouts. These are talented, skilled, they have computer engineering degrees, and they're willing to work. So, like, for God's sake, like, let them work. Yeah.
Definitely appreciate it. Lots of questions come to mind for me, and then of course anybody in the chat, feel free to ask as well. So just to clarify for everybody, Apricot helps get Palestinian jobs in tech and tech adjacent fields. Brandon, when exactly did this start, and are you currently employing people in Gaza? Because just given the horrible just catastrophe,
yes, we employ people in Gaza, and that's because they want to work. Like Mohammed Mortaza, for example, like, he paid his 10,000 to get out through the border, and he needs money when he gets to Cairo. So for the past 6 months, he's been helping a company in Minnesota house disabled people. So I want you to think about that for a second, right? Like, let that hit. You know what I mean? Like, there's an engineer who's suffering a genocide. He's living in a bombed out marketplace. He's traveling to a hub, and he's building software to help disabled people in the United States work. So, and the quality is there, like, the quality is there. So we help people in Gaza, but we also help people in Cairo. We help people in the West Bank. We help people in Jordan. We help people in the diaspora. If you're I'm in San Francisco. If you know anyone in San Francisco, I would love to get coffee and just, get Palestinian talent into these companies in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And I just I'll talk a little bit more about the technical aspect because it's remarkable how you set that up. And I'm sure a lot of people are curious about that. So when exactly did Apricot start, and how do you currently do it? Just given the situation there with, internet access and stuff, how did you manage those difficulties?
Yeah, so I've been working with displaced people for a decade. Like, I worked with Recoded for a long time, and I'm a board advisor there. And when they needed someone to make it, I was sort of like the PsyOps person. Like, when the CEO, she's on my board, and when someone had to make it, I would work with them. And so I learned how to work with people in these zones. Like, if they have a mental health crisis, if they can't come to work, we build software internally with the people in Gaza. So if they can't come to work, like, they just tell me they can't work, they don't have to work, and they get paid no matter what. And then people in the West Bank can take over the project for them. When we're placing engineers into companies, we use areas that are more stable, obviously. But this is what they want, and you have to meet people at where they're at. They want to grow. They want their careers to continue. They don't want this genocide to be their definition. And so I just try to meet them where they're at, and we're able to get the money where it needs to go. We're able to set up through Slack. They use, as other panelists here know better than I do, much better than I do, they use solar power, they use eSIMs, they make it work.
Awesome. And you mentioned that engineers were placed with wages even before they start working. Can you share what made that possible, and how did you scale so fast when it comes to getting them the payments? Are the companies themselves actually paying prior, or is this something that Apricot's able to?
So we charge 15%. We're an NGO. We charge 15% to the companies, but I ask the people, anyone I work with, the first question I ask them is, what do they need for them and their family? After that, I get that answer. I go and I get that amount. We charge 15% to the company. That money goes back in. There's no one in this NGO that has ever been paid that is not has not been displaced by war. So the money goes straight back into Apricot. That money is used to do more networking, do more outreach, and create more jobs. So we scale that way. And because we're an NGO, like, obviously we're able to take grants, but we show that we're profitable. And so the people that give us funding, they solve our cash flow problem. They just provide us with, hey, here's 30K. We want it back in 6 months. It's not like they hand it out as free money. So that's how we've been able to scale. And quite honestly, I moved to San Francisco. I bought an apartment with pink carpet, and I quit my job. That's how we're able to scale so quickly.
It's amazing. And we have somebody in the comments asking, for someone that works in talent acquisition and HR, is there any way that someone like myself can support with setting these folks up for success, such as resume building, interview coaching, etc., and getting placed in these organizations?
Absolutely. I think as a follow-up email, and then really I'd like to move on to the other speakers because they know more about this topic than I do. They've been working in it longer. But as a follow-up email to this presentation, like, there are dozens of organizations that do the resume piece. Most of these organizations as well do the resume piece. We do not educate. We do not, we're just cold, calculated capitalism. We get people jobs at higher wages than they would garner other places.
That's amazing. Thanks, Brandon. I really appreciate that. So again, empowering through opportunity. And let's go through here. And it's thousands of dollars in wages and dozens of engineers placed even before the launch. That's amazing. And here's some of the companies that Apricot's been working with. Strategic partnerships, Apricot partnerships with leading organizations to expand opportunities and resources for Palestinian talent. Again, just wonderful work here, Brandon. Let me just make sure, incubating Palestinian startups, wonderful. And alrighty, do you want to go over this case study at all, Brandon? Or
I'll just say lastly that, like, both of these are just cases where this is a app that's being built in Germany by a Palestinian, and it's for helping with mental health. They're looking for funding. We provide, like, marketing, we provide engineering talent from Palestine, and we're just helping them get off the ground. They have some funding, but they need more. And this is really what I want the legacy of Apricot to be. I want it to be that we have created Palestinian-owned businesses in Palestine and the diaspora. So this is one. And then if you go to the next, this is also another that we're working on. We're working on a video game that discusses the genocide. it will be done in a way that like ethically, so there won't be blood and violence, because children could be could have to see it, but it's going to use talented therapists to go over it. But it's, we have video games that like Modern Warfare and things like this that discuss the genocide from the oppressor's viewpoint in real time, and we don't have that on the side of the genocide. And so I hope that this will help with that cause, and also employ a lot of game developers in Gaza.
It's amazing. And let's just go here. Already building a foundation for long-term impact. Apricot brand and website launch. So you can go to apricotinternational.org to learn more about Apricot services, talents, and just more about all the efforts that this amazing organization is doing. And building a foundation for better impact, job board talent tailored for Palestinians, jobsforpalestinians.org. Wonderful. That's wonderful. And if you want to just talk a little bit about your amazing team you're doing all of this with, Brandon.
Yeah, these like wouldn't be possible without them. Like Noor was the person I was helping when the genocide broke out. I was already working with her, and we started with GoFundMes for her and her family. And it just, once it became systemic, this is what was born out of it. Youssef is an amazing designer from Recoded. He's insanely talented. Like, look him up, use him. He's amazing. Alexandra needs no introduction. Amazing CEO from Recoded. It's worked in the region for 10-15 years and done great work. And Alex and Meg are really the corporate strategists that a software developer like me needs to sort of navigate a recruitment organization working at a very high level.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thanks so much, Brandon. This was great. This really awesome stuff. I'm sure the chat also seems really interested as well. Now we're going to be talking about MENA alliances with Abeer AbuGhaith. So Abeer, I'm super excited. Your background is just so remarkable to see where you've came from and where you're at now. So I'm really excited to start talking with you. If you could just let me know whenever you want me to go to each subsequent slide, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much, Wally. Let's start with. I would like to start with the needs in the world, because I believe that what we offer or what Palestinian offer is not just a charity; it's something adding value for the businesses as well. So by 2030, we could see 85 million tech jobs left unfilled. And why? It's because the right skills just are not there. And based on the World Economic Forum, resilience, adaptability, problem solving, and tech savviness are the new currency for the market. However, 62% of employers say Gen Z is missing these qualities. So the demand is huge, but the gap even bigger. So if you go for the other slide, and on the other side of the world, now, when people think of Palestine, they often see only the hardship. They see a conflict, instability, limited opportunities. But these challenges, by the way, have created one of the most resilient, innovative, and resourceful talent in the world. So Palestinians have one of the highest literacy rate in the world. And 4,000 tech graduates enter the market every year. So these are the people who have grown up in adversity, and that's what shaped their ability to adapt, to solve a problem quickly, to innovate in ways that many others cannot. And this is exactly what the businesses need today. So how we do connect those incredible talent with businesses. And here's where MENA alliances step in. We spent like over 13 years connecting global companies with highly skilled professionals from the MENA region. We born in Palestine, but now we extend to the whole MENA region. From Silicon Valley to Europe to the UK to the Gulf region, we have partnered with over 80 clients worldwide. And what do here in this presentation, I would focus on what our clients says about Palestinian talent. They often talk about how creative they are, and fast and dedicated they are. They have worked with big companies, adjusting to new culture. So we work with different cultures around the world, driving innovation, and always Palestinian delivering results. And we have placed Palestinian talent in very important roles, as a tech lead, as a CTO, in other companies across the world. And they have helped companies to grow and succeed. And this is, by the way, is not just like something we say, it's a pattern we see happening over and over. Now, if you go for the other slide, which is how we do it, actually, how MENA alliances do that, how we make sure that we offer like also the talent that businesses needed. Our AI-driven approach speed up the process, but our human expert ensure we assess more than just technical skills. So we look for adaptability, problem solving, abilities, cultural fit. So we go through multi-level of assessment. And we do this faster than anyone. And we are agile, flexible, scalable, whether it's like you need that for a single hire, for full team, or even for full-time employment, or for contractor or project-based. And the most important thing, we invest in the talent we connect you with through mentorship, upskilling, and community building. And we prepare professional, not just to be prepared for today's challenge, but also for tomorrow opportunities. If you go for the other slide, we want to say that we're making hiring flexible, risk-free, especially for the most in-demand roles. Because a lot of people think that, okay, when we talk about Palestinian, we talk about like low-level skills. But I would say here, we are working with AI specialists, data scientists, cybersecurity, UI, UX, marketing, and sales experts. And to date, we have helped over 700 individuals find jobs. And we partnered with 80 clients worldwide. And our network of skilled and vetted talents is over 9,000 tech talents. And it's growing every day. But if you go for the other slide, Wally, no, the previous one. Sorry, no, just like you go through many things. No, the other one. Sorry. The second. The one.
Right here?
No, another one.
Okay, previously. So this one right here.
Not the previous, the next, please.
Okay. This is the next slide that I have.
Another one. You go for the next. Yes, here.
Okay.
And here I would just like to say, as a for-profit company with a social mission, we do more than just like hiring talents. So part of our revenue go for what is matter for the community and for the community as well. So we believe business-driven solution creating lasting change, and this is something we strongly believe in it, and that's why we created MENA Alliances as a for-profit, because we want to create a strong economic. We are not just like creating job, we also build a career, we shift perceptions. So big part of our work at MENA Alliances is to change perceptions about Palestinian, about talent in the MENA region, even in general. People think that we are living in tents. So we wanted to do we want to change this perception. So we spoke in international stages. We about this, and we also supported like a major initiative, especially after the war in Gaza. Like, for example, Accountable Media, we support them with the tech team, and also we offer aids for Palestinian in Gaza. We offered more than 40,000 aids and delivered in Gaza. And we have also supported health project in Palestine. But also the other thing that we offered, which is conducting a virtual career fair, where we host, one of big multinational company to see what the kind of talent that we have, which lead for after that for a big 2 contracts we signed with them.
Amazing.
Now, if you go for please, for the second one, I would say here, now we need your partnership and we need support, because we are on a mission to rally for 200 companies to hire Palestinian talent by end of this year. And we believe that seeing is believing. So here's my challenge to you. You can start today by collaborating with us by hosting like talent fair, virtual talent fair. So you will have ability to see what the type of talent that Palestinian have, or you can start with pilot project and you can see what the kind of talent that they have. So you see in your eyes. If you go for the next slide, I would say that Palestinians want to tell you also why you should hire them. My friend in Hebron want to tell you why you should hire Palestinian. If you there's no voice.
Oh, you guys don't hear the audio? I hear the audio pretty well. Hear me?
You hear it, but we don't hear it.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I will send this video. I'm not sure why the audio said, yeah, but I'll send this video in the email afterward.
Yeah.
Okay. But this is wonderful. And we're going to have to get going to the next speaker since we are a bit short on time. But Abeer, this is wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And everybody, if you want to, make sure to go to MENAalliances.com to continue to learn more. And here's Abeer's email as well if you need to contact her and collaborate. Thank you so much. This was a really wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
All right, and Pierre, Aleani, Palestinian Business Network International, PBN. Really excited to have you on today. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks, and hi everyone. Hi Abeer, thanks for a good presentation. I'm gonna take on the virtual fair. It's very interesting. And hi Brandon, nice to see you again. Of course, welcome to Gaza team, which we started like maybe 5 weeks ago. So it's pretty new, not like the other speakers. They've been around for a while. So I have a lot of things to learn from them, 100%. And it's very important to say that this is an initiative by the Palestinian Business Network. So if we could change slide, please.
Yeah, and if you could just speak a little bit louder, Pierre, that would be wonderful. Just a little bit quiet on your end.
Well, it's very important to understand where we come from. So we're Palestinians and we're a network, and the meaning is basically that we should cooperate to really develop ourselves, for sure. We started 2016 in Gothenburg, Sweden, and the point was basically, if you change the next slide.
Yeah.
Just follow me. Yeah. The point was to create an international network. Hey, we live all across the world. Why not connect to each other? Why not support each other? And this was the main mission statement that we had: strengthening our identity by success stories. And what we do is like we open up physical chapters in the capitals or bigger cities and hold monthly meetups. So we've done that of course in Sweden, in Denmark, in Brussels, Paris, and Berlin, and of course in Amsterdam. And then we had, of course, what happened on the 7th of October. But we're keeping up that. So that's the monthly meeting. And it's very important to understand, hey, we are a couple of guys who are doing this, and we saw the opportunity there. So we partnered up with the consultancy firm, which is Swedish-based, and this is the main thing. We should be very near the client and offer the client a secure feeling that they basically buying something or renting something or partnering up with someone that is very near them. So we did this like an impact, social impact project within this Swedish consultancy firm. We go further.
Yeah.
So the mission is actually to make sure that non-Palestinians around the world without a job if they want an assignment. So that's the main mission that we have. And the vision is to create this global consultancy firm. And our first primary goal is to be one of the 5 largest consultancy and recruiting firms in Europe by 2030. And we think that this is definitely achievable if we cooperate in different ways. Please, next slide.
Yeah, if you could just speak a little bit louder. I know a few people it seems like it's pretty hard to hear you. So if you could just try to speak as loud as you can, that would be great. And then of course we have the captions and the audio, and the captions hopefully are doing a decent job. Yeah, if you could just be a bit closer to the mic.
Yeah, sure. So the first thing that we did was basically try to map what's happening in Palestine, what's there and what's not there, what's the gap. And this is what we've been doing the last 5 weeks, basically. And from that, we created this strategy house, so this strategy building, where we see the resource coming in from the university, where are they going from there, and who are operating where. And of course, for consultera that is going to use the network as a sales channel, we're very near the client. So we're going to be very client-centric in this way. And the meaning with that, why we're taking this position, is because there's so many other organizations already working and doing an amazing job on the other things. And we need to focus on sales, exactly like Ramon and Abeer is going from MENA Alliance. And that needs to be very centric and deliver what the client wants, because one client that is successful and happy will tell another client. It's very important for us. But we also would like to see and welcome anyone that works in this field to form some kind of a common strategy for the upcoming 3 years. This is what we are looking for. It could be like in fees, how to pay out, how all these kind of matters that we could basically come together and make it easier for the client to understand, and also make it easier for the resource and talent to know where to go. So I would love to talk more about that later in another matter. As I mentioned, we are very client-centric and oriented, and we offer the local presence with local payments. It's very important. For us in Europe and EU, it's pretty simple. And US, it's simple because you got 52 states. So it's the same here as in Europe. We're taking on also, like Abeer said and Ramon said, we need to advocate for Palestine and Palestinian talent. So from after August, we're planning a road tour among the Scandinavian big companies to actually advocate why you should use Palestinian talent. So all input from you guys who already done that is very interesting for us. And as I mentioned earlier, our interest is basically to find a common strategy. So if you go back there, and this is also a thing that we're looking, there's so many organizations out there, whether it's a non-profit or a for-profit one. And it will be very unclear for the talent and the client where to go. And from our side, from Europe side at least, we would love to be that part, the matchmaking part in between. So everyone knows where to go, whether it's a client or a resource. And we're looking on different ways to do that. And with you other guys, I would love to see how we can do that. A business model that we are looking at now, and we say, hey, this is pretty working because it works on consumer products. It should be working on human capital. Is that there might be Palestinian-based consultancy firms or completely creative offices or whatever it might be. So they become like a associate partner, a subcontractor for consultancy. but we're also looking for reselling partners out there who can resell the talent base that we have, or the base of services that we have. So we're also opening up for anyone that would be able to reach the customer locally and knock on doors in this case.
Wonderful. And we're a bit short on time, so we're going to get through the next slide. We just get to your business model really quick.
Yeah, just the last question, last thing there before. So of course we are for-profit one, so we will give back the money to a fund, an investment fund.
Awesome.
So this is a thing that we are looking at. We would love to put a place, a career advisor for the talent to help them to choose their career. And of course, when you guys who have placed a resource with a client, there's always insecurity if it's the first time you work with this talent. And what we want to do also is to create a platform where you have experts and seniors supporting the juniors and mid with any question they might have during their assignment. So when they have an assignment, there should be a reach to those who have a more mature knowledge to be able to ask them for advice. Because what we want to do is really deliver a successful project. So we're building this kind of way so they can interact with each other. Please, next one. Yeah.
Alrighty, and then
it's a Palestinian Business Network, and my name is Pierre Aleani. And so please reach out for any questions.
Thank you so much, Pierre. And you can, and everybody in the watching, you can go to pbni.se to learn more about this amazing initiative. I really appreciate it.
Wally, can I the last thing, just a short one. So we just launched a map on our website for the network. So if you register yourself, it's a free account. So you will make a marker on this map saying, hey, we exist. So that would be really fun if you would do that. Thank you.
Wonderful, and we'll share some more information in the email we'll send out later. Christian Viziek of Talent Acceleration Platform. How are you doing today, Christian?
Great. Thank you so much. My internet's struggling a bit, so please let me know if it's not working super well.
Yeah, right now it's doing good.
Alrighty. Okay. We just need this slide, and then we can, when I'm done, we can actually go through the rest of the slides.
Okay.
So we are a startup in the job creation space for now 5 years. And the one thing we've learned in our journey is that the only thing that works, or maybe I should say what works best, is to empower the individuals. So what do I mean by that? If you're trying to create a job, you should give somebody, the network, the community, the tools and the process and the confidence so that they can find a job on their own. And I can illustrate this with a story. Bayan, she's an incredible person. When I met her like 6 months ago, she was struggling. She was about to give up. She had done 3 internships, had completed 2 upskilling programs, and nothing materialized. She was about, and yeah, I couldn't see somebody like that, so with so much potential suffer so much, and that's something that we've seen so much, huge amount of potential and not unlocked. So about 6 months after I chatted with Bayan, we had just launched our job hunting program. And I told Bayan, hey, give it a shot. I think it's going to be very helpful. Within 10 weeks, she landed not 1 offer, but 2 offers. And she had the luxury to choose. And she ended up joining Baysat. It's a startup that many of you must know. What's super powerful about this story is that we did not give Bayan a fish. We taught her how to fish. So that she can do this over and over again until she lands her, CTO role and becomes an entrepreneur, etc., etc. This is what TAP did for her: one-to-one coaching with professional job hunting coaches, an AI-powered platform where she can manage all her interactions and her journey towards the job, and a community of mentors and peers. It was a life-changing thing for Bayan. And the thing is that there's hundreds of people like Bayan right now, and we cannot help all of them. Currently, we're helping 24 people in the month of March, and we would love for you guys here to actually sponsor a tapper, to join the program, to land a job, to become, to create income of hundreds of thousands of dollars over a lifetime, so that he or she can uphold his family and community, and yeah, and it's as easy as sponsoring a tapper right here, right now. I'm gonna send a link where you can read more about it, watch some videos, and check out the sponsorship opportunity. So yeah, thanks very much. That's it. And you can actually scroll to the next slide so you'll see a picture of Bayan quickly. Okay, that didn't work.
I see it. Meet Bayan. And oh, you mean the opening of the photo?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
All
right, you can scroll through the thing, and then in the last page is the QR code and the link to the website you can use to support us.
Oh, here she is. She's lovely. Bayan expands her network by 500%, lands 7 coffee chats, meet 3 people who mentor her, has 3 interview processes, and gets 2 offers. That's wonderful. And Bayan got the job. Bayan has a remote job at a top startup in Dubai. That's amazing, Christian. Just wonderful work. And Bayan is just one story of many others that are being able to just really flourish and get the job that they want while helping these companies as well. That's wonderful.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, when you talk to these young people,
this is so sweet right here. I love this that you added this chat in.
Yeah, that was great. Great.
Is this your conversation with her?
Yeah. You just have to believe in them, right? And then you believe in them, you give them the tools, and actually it just materializes. They have what it takes. They're so ambitious. Then it takes it makes no sense to take agency away from them. And so give them the tools, give them the network, and just let them do it on their own. It's really, really impressive. The type of jobs they land are just insane. So yeah, help me out here in the link and sponsor a tapper. Please share the link as well. Let's try to get some 100 tappers going through the program next month.
Wonderful. And then you guys, thank you so much, Christian. Everybody, you can scan right here. We're also going to be sending out the slide deck later as well, so you'll be able to go through all of this and check it out and learn a bit more. Alrighty, and Dana Shaheen of YOUMNA. Dana, really excited to speak with you today and learn about what you're up to.
Thanks, Wally. It's good to be here amongst friends and familiar faces doing some awesome work. It's hard to follow such great projects and efforts, but I'll do my best. I'm Dana. I'm Palestinian from Gaza, founder of YOUMNA. YOUMNA is a business that we started at the end of 2024 to provide executive assistance remote to clients in the MENA region. My journey with YOUMNA started after many months witnessing the slaughter of our people and wanting to get involved, do something that can really make a difference and help support. And number one thing for me is job creation. And after working on a number of projects, I myself was struggling with overwhelm and a lot of work to be done. I was looking for a right hand or a YOUMNA, and I noticed that this sort of business or this sort of talents really exist in markets like in Asia or in Africa, Latin America, but no one's really done and focused on building up this industry with Arab talent. I thought this would be a perfect industry to build in Palestine to create jobs for Palestinians, mainly Palestinian women, and that's how our journey with YOUMNA started. If you go to the next slide, I'll keep it very short and sweet. I was looking at this more from a founder's problem or the clients that we support. Once I dug into the industry a little bit more, I found a lot of issues with executive support and how it's broken. Having on-site support is really expensive. It's really costly, time consuming to find strong remote talent. And there's a sort of level of skill, let's say, to match today's needs of founders and being able to support all the varied tasks of a founder. There needs to be a little bit extra training that is done. I also, through my involvement with multiple hiring efforts for Palestinians and conversations with clients as well, Notice that there's feedback sometimes from clients that there's a lack of trust maybe or confidence in hiring 1 or 2 individuals remotely without them being properly managed, etc. So we provide or need to add this extra layer of trust and as Brandon mentioned earlier, I think he said like a veneer, this like final veneer to wrap around our incredible talent. And so multiple problems that I won't get into in detail, but going to the next slide. So we started YOUMNA. Basically, we help clients, mainly founders and investors, VCs, to get more done with less time by matching them with a really capable executive assistant that is remotely based. Through the whole process, we vet, assess, and rigorously sort of vet premium talent, focusing on Arab women. So they're bilingual. We're the first in the world to focus on bilingual talent, Arabic speaking. We have a very strong training program that elevates skills to match top standards, basically tech savviness, etc., AI tools. And then we personally match the EA with a client that really it's like a perfect fit most of the time, and offer management and support going forward and continue to upskill our talent. You can move to the next slide. So even though we're a young company, I think we've done quite a bit that I'm really proud of, along with the team. We launched a pilot class at the end of last year just to test out the Palestinian market, along with the partners on the ground that have been super helpful. We had a pilot class of about 25 Palestinian women that went through the training. Many have been matched with top startups and VCs in Dubai and Saudi. And now we've expanded already into Lebanon and Jordan, where we've got talent based in those markets, especially as you're meeting specific client needs and having talent as well in other markets in the Arab world. We have an amazing training program that's gotten exceptional feedback from all of the EAs that go through the program, and we're scaling fast. I think for me, though, the biggest and most impactful thing that really touched my heart is how much working with YOUMNA and having access to top business leaders in the UAE and Saudi and in our region has really changed and uplifted a lot of the people's, I guess, emotional well-being after leaving Gaza. We have candidates that have left, or we have YOUMNAs that have left Gaza and Egypt. And this completely shifted their state, and just having something to work on daily and just having access and exposure, it has really transformed a lot, I would say, and also YOUMNAs in the West Bank as well. So for me, this has been the biggest impact, and this is actually why I envisioned building up an industry like this from the ground up in Palestine can really create impact or rippling effects for especially our women. And that's it, I think, from me. I'm happy to answer more questions. If you go to the next slide, we have a QR code to our link tree. If you scan it, if you're a potential founder or investor that would like to find your right hand, get some support to drive your business forward, you can join our wait list. If you're a candidate, you can apply there and follow us on socials.
That's amazing, Dana. Thank you so much. This is just wonderful. And wow, so much amazing, so many amazing speakers, and there's so much to learn. I have some questions, but I'm going to leave it up in the chat. If anybody has any questions they want to toss in right now, would be the time to do it. I'll start off with Dana. What did you find was the most difficult roadblock in your experience to starting to your company to actually getting these talents onboarded and getting helping them what did you find was the most difficult roadblock for you, and how did you overcome that?
I think for us it's to really have that way to sort of match that sheer raw intelligence and talent with the expectations, or let's say what is really required by seasoned business leaders. So there's that extra level where you just need to push up the candidates a little bit through really focused training. I think for us that's been the biggest challenge. to figure out. And I think we cracked it. Our YOUMNAs are doing exceptionally well in the rules. We haven't had any churn, which is amazing. That is a testament to how capable and incredible our people are and how intelligent they are. For us, it's been really figuring out that secret sauce in the training, and I think we've got it.
That's amazing. That's wonderful. And let's see here. I think unless you guys have any other questions here, then I think we could just wrap up today. This is amazing, guys. There's so many amazing talent in the Middle East and North Africa, and with everything going on right now with the onslaught in Gaza and with settler violence in the West Bank right now, it's more pertinent than ever to help encourage these people and give them a reason to feel driven and expand and grow. And all of these amazing speakers today are doing just that and really helping these efforts in that region. I'm seeing a lot of people right now toss their LinkedIns in the chat. If anybody wants to connect with any of the amazing people. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, because some people ask about the payment to Gaza and the payment to Palestine. So I would love to comment on that.
Yeah.
If you allow me. So
Yeah.
actually, at MENA Alliances, we are registered in Palestine. So we have a bank account there, so we can send money to Palestinian. Besides that, we are registered in UK as well. So this is not a problem. So we solve this problem. So we can send the money to Palestinian in Gaza or in West Bank. So there is no problem of hiring Palestinian there. We handle that. Even for the Palestinian in Egypt, who evacuate to Egypt, because I know some businesses, they are afraid even to send money to Palestine, because there's some some questions about that. You can also send that. We make this we make option that you can send the money to our for example, to MENA Alliances bank account in UK. So this is the way we solve this problem. So that's from my side. Sorry, just for interrupting you.
No, that's really important. I'm glad he answers that. Thank you so much. And I'm seeing a lot of people. I'm going to leave the chat open for another minute or so, because I'm seeing a lot of people wanting to connect and add their LinkedIns, which is great. That's how we do it, just building communities and getting people together. Speakers, if there's anything else any other speaker wants to add, now would be a great time. But otherwise, thank you guys so much. We are going to continue doing this great webinar series. You guys are welcome to hop off. Let's keep the Zoom open right now, team, just so that way we can help everybody connect to everybody on LinkedIn that's sending that in. I think that would be great. Otherwise, speakers, you guys are free to go. Thank you so much. This is such a great and informative webinar. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. And guys, you can find me on social